We hope that symbolically under the shade of this tree is where stories of character will be told, that in each of our homes will be a safe place to build faith, cultivate confidence, and develop character by hearing the stories of courage and faith of noble ancestors and other influential role models who have made a difference during their own lifetimes. Beverly and I stand in awe of the resilience, the steady and sturdy composition, and the nurturing ways of each branch of our family tree. You each are so adaptable but purposeful. We hope you and your families enjoy this art for a very long time. It represents each of you.
So then I had the idea of maybe doing a wall hanging, doing a bas relief, fairly high relief, so you get a lot of dimensional sculptural feel, but it could be cast in bronze and be 2 or 3 or 4 feet, and then the figures, we could do whatever we wanted with them, and it could go in any number of locations.
Marty, I really like that idea because I didn't think about this before, but if I look at this illustration, I mean, you're going to have a casting that would be duplicatable then.
Absolutely.
And fundamentally, it's much more practical, and I could maybe use this as a gift for my children or others as well, in addition to what I'm doing in my own house.
Well, not only that, from the standpoint of sculpture and communication, like we talked about earlier, the message could be much more complicated. We could do a lot. It wouldn't be just a figure in a tree, but we could add things, background, leaves, those kinds of things that you mentioned that were important to you, that were emblematic, or that had meaning in and of themselves.
Yeah, that's interesting, because then it's almost like if you're in an art studio, that you can have different viewers getting a different message from the same piece of art. And theoretically, you and I could talk about that, and we could embed some messages into the art.
Absolutely.
But then let some be self-discovered as well.
Yeah, so these figures, we talked about the background and so forth.
So now I see what you referenced. So you've got the figures into the vines or the branches of the tree and so forth.
Exactly. And then you mentioned that we could do something with the background with maybe more dimensionality, but also sort of referencing a historic, marching of trees or whatever. So,
I like that, because as we build the dimension, we can build. If I'm hearing you right, we can build the sequence of time.
Exactly.
So could we then also give reference to the size of the trees with regard to the sequence of time and the planting of the trees?
Yeah, absolutely. With this format, our flexibility is huge. I mean, we could add trees of different sizes, marching up the hill or whatever.
So Marty, we've got a person here, but we're missing the generational component. Is it possible to put some children into this picture? So in essence, we're showing, we've got the stability of the tree and we've got new trees, but we would have the stability of older figures, mid-size, and then young figures in the discussion.
Absolutely. We could even add a previous generation, an older figure somewhere in there.
That's perfect.
Something
that
like
would be
that.
me. That would be me.
We could put, a person in this area here. There's plenty of room. A child,
right?
Running toward or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Planting that last tree, so you can see I've sculpted the hair and the head and the length of the arm and the legs to look a little more sort of aged. Old manish, aged. Yeah.
That's phenomenal to me that you were able to capture age with regard to that, and you got his foot tapped in the back. We've got now the dimensions between 1, 2, 3, 4 planes, almost 5 planes here.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
That's perfect. And then,
it was tattered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it hardly worth his while to waste any time on the old violin. But he held it up with a smile. "What am I bidding, folks?" he cried. "Who'll start bidding for me? $1? $1, who'll make it $2? $2, who'll make it $3? $3 once, $3 twice, going for $3. But no. From the room far back, a gray-haired man came forward and picked up the bow, and wiping the dust from the old violin and tightening up all the strings, he played a melody, pure and sweet as an angel sing. The music ceased, and the auctioneer, with a voice that was quiet and low, said, "Now what am I bid for the old violin?" And he held it up with the bow. $1,000. Who'll make it $2? $2,000. Who'll make it $3? $3,000 once, $3,000 twice, going and gone, said he. The people cheered, but some of them cried, "We don't quite understand. What changed its worth?" And the man replied, "'Twas the touch of the master's hand. And many a man, with life out of tune and battered and scarred with sin, is auctioned cheap to a thoughtless crowd, much like that old violin. A mess of pottage, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He's going once, going twice, he's going and almost gone. But the master comes, and the foolish crowd can never quite understand the worth of a soul or the change that's wrought by the touch of the master's hand."
This sculpture is affectionately titled "The Shade Tree and Planting in the Heart." There is one original bronze casting and 5 original cold castings. The castings were given to our children and spouses for Christmas. It represents Beverly and my earnest desire. The various messages you will discover within this art are about your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and many others from both sides of your family. The attached letter on the back side is specifically about your own parents. Our earnest hope and desire is that each generation of our family is enabled with opportunities equal or greater than the preceding generation. Wouldn't that be great? Many things we can influence. Some we do not. However, there are a few conditions that must be met if this righteous desire is to happen, as there is a law irrevocably decreed in heaven upon which all blessings are predicated. We believe strongly that obedience to the 5th commandment is foremost of the conditions for families to press forward with hope and faith from generation to generation. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Exodus 20:12. This commandment remains binding throughout our lives and can be understood in several ways. We should honor our fathers and our mothers who are our ancestors. We should be grateful to the father and mother who provided our earthly bodies. We should honor those who raised us in the knowledge of the truth and taught us how to work and to play. Above all, we should honor our heavenly parents. Through the grace of Jesus Christ and by honoring our covenants, we receive the immeasurable promise of living with our righteous family throughout all eternity. This sculpture is an admonition to our children to press on and plant within the hearts of our grandchildren the principles and everlasting truths that teach of their divine nature and yields the fruits of honest labor. To always recognize the source of our gifts, to focus on what is absolutely essential by example, and to not get lost in polarizing political debates, angry social media posts, or contemptuous conversations which distract us from what is most important. What is truly essential can usually be found with careful contemplation, personal reflection, astute observation, and civility within our family and communities. The backside of this art is a reminder to our grandchildren to put some of thine honor back upon your parents. Numbers 27:20. To honor our parents is even more important than to love our parents, even when ambivalence or strain exists in a relationship. And remember, before honor is humility. Proverbs 15:33. We know God gives our family opportunities upon the land as we each do our own part. We love you, all of you, generation upon generation. Love, Papa and Nana, Christmas of 2020. A modern prophet once said, "The Lord had his eyes upon him, and upon his father, and upon his father's father, and upon their progenitors clear back to Adam. He has watched that family and that blood as it has circulated from its fountain to the birth of that man. He was foreordained in eternity." And so it is with this family tree. Heavenly parents, father and mother, have their watchful eyes upon this family. I say it is true.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. You know that? This I have to understand a little more, this part. I don't know this part as much. I'm thinking that's helping each other and maybe us going back to heaven. What do you think maybe?
Do you see the
This is
characters in the tree?
Father and mother. Up in here?
No, look in
No,
the.
just here in the tree, that's what I'm saying.
How many characters do you see in the tree?
One, two completely, but there's like parts of others. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
see these two
If there's one on the edge of the tree,
up here,
no,
down here.
right,
Show me. What do you mean?
right there.
Yes, that's another like arm. Yes, it's another. You see part of a person right there. And you see, yeah, there's this one, but I think there's maybe part of another one there too. Everybody's helping and lifting each other. Yeah, look at that. And it says, the shade we now enjoy was planted by families gone before, ennobled by heavenly parents who gift their likeness so we might nurture the seeds of deity in the hearts of our children. Did you write that?
I did.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. That's just lovely.
Got a nice big present from Dad and Mom.
It's your constant love that gives me strength. Under the starlight, we'll find our way, I know. This is the start of something beautiful. With you by my side, there's no place that we can't go. This is the start of something beautiful.
The shade we now enjoy was planted by families gone before.
Ennobled by heavenly parents who gift their likeness so we might nurture the seeds of deity in the hearts of our children.
Whoa.
Okay, you read Lisa. Say thank you. Look at the detail on all these trees. What's right here in the tree? Off is a bag.
Are they like Roman style?
Various messages you will discover within this art are about your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and many others from both sides of your family. The attached letter is specifically about your parents. Our earnest hope and desire is that each generation of our family is enabled with opportunities equal or greater than the preceding generation. There are a few conditions for this to happen, as there is a law irrevocably decreed in heaven, upon which all blessings are predicated. We believe strongly that obedience to the fifth commandment is foremost of the conditions for our families to press forward with faith. God giveth as we each do our part. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. This commandment remains binding throughout our lives and can be understood in several ways. We should honor our fathers and mothers who are our ancestors. We should be grateful to the father and mother who provided our earthly bodies. We should honor those who raised us in the knowledge of the truth and taught us how to work and play. Above all, we should honor our heavenly parents. Through the grace of Jesus Christ and by honoring our covenants, we receive the immeasurable promise of living with our righteous family throughout eternity. This backside is a reminder to put some of thine honor back upon your parents. To honor your parents is even more important than to love our parents, even when ambivalence or strain exists in a relationship. And remember, before honor is humility. Papa and Nana, Christmas 2020.
Wow, Dad.
Now enjoy.
Bronze.
The shade we now enjoy was planted by families from before.
Ennobled by heavenly parents who gift their likeness so we might nurture the seeds of deity in the hearts of our children.
That is
Wow.
so pretty.
That is beautiful. I remember you asking us to take this picture of me sitting underneath a tree.
I don't think we did.
I don't know if we ever took that picture for you. I don't remember. Is that bronze? Wow, you must have had that guy. Okay, let's see if we can flip it over. Watch out, I can back up. Well, that's very nice, Dad. That is a pretty cool, unique piece of art.
So cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, I'm gonna hold it up right side up so we can see it.
Wow. Wow, holy cow. That's so pretty. I'm pretty sure this is bronze, right? so cool. Pretty sure this is called a French key. That's so cool.
Wow.
Wow. I know where that's going.
Right there. There's, and then behind you, and that little skinny one. Yep.
Thank you, Nana and Papa.
Thank you. Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Woo! On the wall.
All right.
Yeah. The certificate is unique to each piece of art in our children too. There's a video prepared about the creation of the sculpture. I will provide separately. I'm hoping the 2 documents on the left can be a meaningful FHE lesson. Mom and I will facilitate the one titled Our Best and Strongest Traits, and ask you to facilitate one titled Admonition to Our Grandchildren. Wow. Thank you, Dad and
Yeah.
Mama. I know Dad put it together, but thank you guys.
Thank you so
Wow.
much. That is amazing. That is absolutely beautiful.
I'm excited to go look through it all too.
That's going to be such a neat gift in all of our homes to have. This, like anywhere they go, they'll be able to see that.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Oh, that's really cool. Can you see it in here? Yeah. Oh. Oh, look, there's like people on the tree. There's like a person here. Can you see probably in the middle of the tree maybe? Oh. Well, we can't wait to get more of an explanation. This is really cool.
Stuff on the back here.
Oh. Can't really see it anymore.